concept called law of karma. In Telugu, it is called Karma Siddhantam. Karma, in the sense, karma is a Sanskrit word. In the sense, karma in the sense deed. And Siddhantam, in the sense, the law of deeds or law of karma. So, karma in the sense, whatever we do, our eating, talking, all the activities or karma. Literally, if you take karma in the sense activity or deeds, our deeds. So this law of karma is the basic law on the earth plane. Law of karma is also called as cause and effect law, or law of cause and effect. Means it deals with the cause and effect. I mean, which states that to every effect there will be a cause. Without cause there will be no effect. That is cause and effect law. So to every manifestation, to every event that happens, there will be some cause. Without cause, there will be no effect. That is the law of cause. If there is a tree, there must be a seed. We can see only the tree. We cannot see the seed. But if there is a tree, there must be a seed. Without a seed, there will be no seed. In the same way, there must be a, if there is effect, if there is an event, there must be a cause for it. Without a cause, there is no effect. So that is what law of karma. So now let us see the types of karma. Based on the result we reap, karma are three types. Based on the result we reap, karma is into three types. First one, papa karma. Papa karma is the karma, the deeds that results in harmful effects. Papam in the sense sin, we call in English. Sin is that. What is the sin according to Jesus Christ? What you do against your best knowledge is sin for you. That is one of the definition given by Jesus Christ. What you do against your best knowledge is sin for you. I mean, in India, everybody know ahimsa paramo dharma. There will be statement. There will be a statement in Hindu philosophy or in the Indian culture. There will be a statement. That statement is ahimsa paramo dharma. We all know. Everybody know that ahimsa is the highest dharma. Dharma means that which is acceptable, which is accepted. So, which that can be done is dharma. Acceptable deed is the dharma. So ahimsa is the highest dharma. Righteousness, we call it. So ahimsa is the highest righteousness for human beings. So ahimsa means non-violence. Not only for human beings, for all the beings on the earth. We should not create, we should not violate any life form. We should not create any violence in any life form. That is ahimsa. Generally, people think violence to human beings only, violence. Violence to animals is not considered. But violence to any life form is violence. So we all know in India that ahimsa paramo dharma, and killing animal for food is a violence. We know that, great violence, but still we do that. To satisfy our senses. We have a lot of vegetarian foods to satisfy our hunger, but just to satisfy our taste buds, we prefer to eat non-vegetarian. Actually, it is not at all a food for human beings. If you see the structural, physiological, and structural, structurally, if you see, physiologically, if you see, our body, It says that your body is not, human body is not designed for non-vegetarian or animal food. But though we know that for the sake of taste buds, we take it, bloody food. So knowing that is non-violence is wrong thing, even though if we do that, that is sin for you. So what you do against your best knowledge is sin for you. That is the definition of sin. When you know that is wrong, even though you know that that is wrong, and again you do it, that is sin for you. And the second thing, the second type of karma is punyam, punya karma. Punya karma in the sense righteous karma. Dharma mein punyam. The statement is like this in the Navaratnas. Dharmam, dana mein dharmam, dharma mein punyam. Dhanam in the sense donating what you have. That is dhanam. Dhanam is dharmam. And giving is dharma, righteousness. And righteousness is the punyam. Punyam in the sense all the good deeds that we do, all the helping deeds that we do for others other than you is comes under punyam, punya karma. All the helping deeds other than you and your family comes under punya karma. If you do for your family members, it will be your duty. If you help your family member, that will not come under punyam, punya karma. It will be your duty to help your family members. That is your duty, because you will take so many things from your family members. You will take so many helps from your family members. And again, it is your duty to give your help to them. That is your duty, not it does not under help family member, it does not comes under punya karma. If you help a person other than your family member, that comes under punya karma. So all the helping deeds comes under punya karma. Punya karma, the result of punya karma is all we know. Punya karma leads to pleasures. Punya karma leads to happiness. Bhogam we call. Punyam leads to bhogam. In the sense, punya karma leads to pleasures and happiness. Papa karma leads to rogam. Rogam in the sense disease. Papa karma leads to rogam and the miseries in life. All the miseries in the life are because of our papa karma. All the pleasures in our life is because of our punya karma. So papa karma leads to diseases and miseries. Punya karma leads to pleasures and happiness. And the third type of karma is satya karma. Satya karma in the sense, the karmas or the deeds or the activities that leads to know the truth of life. The karmas or the deeds or the activities that leads to the truth of life are called satya karmas. Example for satya karmas are meditation and reading swadhyaya. Swadhyaya in the sense reading spiritual literature written by yogis, rishis, brahmarshis, spiritual masters, spiritual scientists. The literature given by the enlightened masters. Reading the enlightened masters' books, for example, like Bhagavad Gita. Bhagavad Gita is given by the great sage, great yogi, great Brahmarshi, Vedavyasa. Vedavyasa is the representation of knowledge. So, reading the books of enlightened masters is Swadhyaya. So, these are the examples for Satyakarmas. Satyakarmas include meditation. Through meditation, we get our own experience of Satyam. Satyam means, in the sense, truth. We know the truth of about ourselves, what we are, what is life, what is death. Is there life after death? Or was I exist before the birth? Who is God? What is God? Is this creation is happening just accidentally, or it is run by any supernatural power or any super consciousness or any super intelligence behind the creation, or just it is happening accidentally like that? Knowing all these things is Satyam. Satyam about yourself and Satyam about the cosmos. Truth about yourself, what matter you are, whether you are just a body or anything else you are. Whether you were before birth, whether you will be after death, what happens to you after death? Is there anything after death or nothing? All this knowing is known as knowing about yourself. All this knowing is called self-knowledge. What is the purpose of life, human life? What is the purpose of yourself? Why you are here? Is there any purpose or just like that you are here? All this knowing, what is God? All these things. Is there soul or there is no such thing soul? Like atheists say, no, there is no soul, there is no God at all. Their conclusion, that is. Whether atheists' conclusion is true or not, whether these philosophers or the religion leaders says no, there is God. Whether there is God or not, we should know all these things. Knowing about all these things is spiritual science. Knowing all these things is self-knowledge. Knowing about yourself and knowing about the creation. So all this knowledge about yourself, that is self-knowledge, through your own experience is meditation. In meditation, what you get is through your own experience, you realize the truth. What is life, what is death, and all. And through books, through reading the books, that is called Swadhyaya, through Swadhyaya of enlightened master, knowing the truth through the Swadhyaya is called, knowing the truth through the books of enlightened master is called Swadhyaya. And knowing the truth through the enlightened masters directly is called Sajjana Sangatya. For example, now we are doing Sajjana Sangatya on Zoom. I'm an enlightened master, and now I am sharing my enlightenment. Those who are watching this program, few people are on online, few people are on Zoom. Now they are listening to me. Now they are listening the truth that is coming from myself, my enlightenment. So this is called Sajjana Sangatya. So these are the Satya Karmas, knowing the truth through our own experience is meditation. Knowing the truth through the books of enlightenment is Swadhyaya. And knowing the truth through enlightened masters directly, face to face. Okay, that is called Sajjana Sangatya. These are all comes under Swadhyaya, Dhyanam means meditation, Swadhyaya, Sajjana Sangatya. These three comes under Satya Karma, means the karmas which leads to the knowing of truth. Truth about ourselves and truth about the creation is truth. So in Satyakarma, one more thing also there, seva. Means conducting this type of enlightenment classes, conducting the meditation classes, enlightenment classes, knowledge sessions, and spreading the meditation throughout the world is called seva. Seva in the sense, without expecting anything, we give service. Service of spirituality is known as, comes under Satyakarma, service of spiritual science. I mean, spreading the spirituality, spiritual knowledge, spreading meditation, conducting meditation sessions, knowledge sessions. All this seva comes under also Satyakarma. So seva is, different types of sevas are there, but sharing, I mean, seva which spread the spiritual knowledge is Satyakarma. Different types of sevas are there. Serving the people, like Satya Sai Baba Trust, they serve the people with various physical needs. Like Satya Sai Baba has built so many hospitals, so many charity trusts. So that is all comes under physical seva. Physical seva comes under Satyakarma. Spiritual seva comes under Satyakarma. Physical seva comes under physical seva, not under Satyakarma. So Satyakarmas are 4 types. Okay. Meditation, Swadhyaya, Sajjana Sangatya, and spiritual seva. So these are the types of karma. The first one is Papa Karma, second one is Punya Karma, third one is Satya Karma. Okay. Under Satya Karma, meditation, Swadhyayam, Sajjana Sangatyam, and spiritual seva. Spiritual seva in the sense, spreading all the deeds that spreads truth of life, comes under Satya Karma. So these are the types based on the results. Satya Karma leads to what? Enlightenment, and enlightenment leads to moksha. In the last class we have discussed about moksha, no? Moksha means liberation. Liberation in the sense, liberation from the sufferings, liberation from the miseries of life. That is moksha. So this spiritual knowledge, enlightenment, leads to liberation. So we have time now. Already we have exceeded. Shall we continue? Hello?
Yeah, you can continue.
Hello?
Yeah, you can continue.
Yeah, another type of based on I mean the manifestation of the karma based on the time frame of manifestation of karma. Karma again categorized into prarabdha karma, sanchita karma, and agami karma. Three types based on the manifestation, the manifest time frame of manifestation of karma. The karma again divided into three types. Number one is prarabdha karma. Number two is sanchita karma, and number three is agami karma. Now let us come to first one, agami karma. Sorry, prarabdha karma. Prarabdha karma is the karma that we have brought to experience to this present life. Understand? The karma that we have brought to this lifetime to experience. That is called prarabdha karma. That means we have so many lifetimes. We might have taken so many lifetimes in the past, and we may take many lifetimes in the future also. In Bhagavad Gita, Krishna said, no, there are many lifetimes that we both in the sense Krishna and Arjuna, we both have taken. All the lifetimes I know, all the lifetimes of mine and you, I know, but you don't know. Bahuni me vetitani janmani tavacharjuna. Tan aham vetta sarvani. Natvam vetta parantapa. In the sense, you and me have taken so many lifetimes in the past. All the past lives I know, but you don't know that. Krishna says like this to Arjuna in Bhagavad Gita. So that means we have so many lifetimes. In all the past lifetimes, we might have done so many karmas, knowingly or unknowingly. All the deeds that all done in all the past lives will not bring all the karma to this lifetime. Will bring only 30% of that karma from all the past lives. We take only 30% of the karma to this lifetime to experience. What is karma? Whatever we do, we reap the same thing. That is karma. Whatever you sow, as you sow, so you reap. No, in the Bible it is said, as you sow, you reap. So whatever you did yesterday, you reap today. So whatever you have sown in the past life, you reap that today. I mean, in this lifetime. So the karma that we have brought to this lifetime to experience is called prarabdha karma. And second one is sanchita karma. Sanchita karma is the karma of all the lifetimes pulled together is called sanchita karma. Suppose we have taken 400 or 500 lifetimes in the past. So in all the lifetimes, we might have done so many karmas, no? All that karmas pulled together is called sanchita karma, which are not at all, not at experienced, not yet manifested, not yet experienced. We have done, we have sown the seeds, but we did not reap the fruits of those karmas. All that karmas collectively called as sanchita karma. All the past lives karmas collectively called as sanchita karma. And from that sanchita karma, the karmas which we have brought to this lifetime to experience is called prarabdha karma. Understand? So now the third type is agami karma. Agami karma in the sense, now we have taken some 30% of the past past karma to this lifetime, that is called prarabdha karma. We are experiencing prarabdha karma. Okay. Okay. But we are now in this lifetime again we are doing new karmas, no? Will not be still, no? Will be doing something knowingly or unknowingly. Will be doing something new, no? Will not sit idle, no? Will do something. All that new karmas that are generating in this present life will go and join to the sanchita karma, that is called agami karma. I mean, this karma, present karma, which is not at all reaped, now newly these are formed. Okay. And which are going to be manifested in the future, that is called agami karma. Now this agami karma will go and join with the sanchita karma. I mean, the in the present life's karma, in the present life, the karma which is not yet manifesting, which is going to be manifested in the future, comes under agami karma. All that we are experiencing now is the past karma, not the present karma. And now whatever we are doing now in the present lifetime, it creates agami karma and go and join with the sanchita karma. Agami in the sense which is going to come. Agami in the sense which is going to come, means which will manifest in the future. The new karma which is going to manifest in the future. All that we are reaping now in the present is the past karma. Our present depends on our past, and on our future depends on our present. Whatever you are our whatever we are doing now will create our future. Whatever we are now is created by our past. Our present is the result of our past. Our future is the result of our present. Mean whatever we are reaping at the present moment is because of our past karma. Whatever now we are creating at the present moment will create our future. Whatever we do in the present moment will be resulted in the future. Means our future is created by the present, and our present is created by our past. This is called law of karma. Now, if you have any questions about law of karma, please you can ask. So all this, every spiritual scientist said the same thing, whether Jesus Christ or whether Krishna in Bhagavad Gita, whether Jesus Christ in Bible, or Yogi Vemana also said the same thing. Yogi Vemana, what he said is, రాత కొలది గాని వరమీడు దైవంబు, చేత కొలది గాని రాత రాదు, రాత కజుడు కర్త చేతకు తాకర్త. Ratas in the sense life design. According to the life design, your life will be created. You are provided with that type of facilities in the life according to your life design. Rata in the sense. Rata koladika ani varamidu daivambu, in the sense the nature will create all the facilities to you according to your life design. Cheta koladi gani rata radu. Cheta in the sense your deeds. According to your deeds, life is designed. How life is designed? According to your past cheta, means past deeds. This life is designed accordingly with your past time, past lives, life karmas. And rata kajudu karta, chetaku takarta. I mean, while you are designing your life, masters will help you. So if you design like this, you will reap this karma. So they will help you. Means rata kajudu karta, in the sense masters are the will help you to design your life. But chetaku takarta in the sense you are the creator of your own, you are responsible for your own deeds, not masters, not nature. You are responsible for all your deeds. So ultimately what this is saying is, you create your own reality. Whatever you design, according, it is designed because your deeds are like that. Means your deeds are creating your design, life design, not masters. Why masters are creating like that? Why masters are facilitating you to this type of life design? Because your deeds are like that. Who are responsible for your deeds? You are the only person who is responsible for your deeds, not masters, not your parents, not your nature, not your surroundings, nobody. You are the only person who is responsible for your deeds. So ultimately what this Vemana is saying is, you are the creator of your own reality. You are the creator. So this is what Karma Siddhanta is saying. You are the creator. Whatever you do, that you will reap. As you sow, so you reap. If you sow good deeds, you reap pleasures and happiness. If you do bad deeds, you will reap diseases and miseries, or dukkha, or tapatraya, as we discussed in the past life. Sorry, in the past class we have discussed about the tapatraya concept. So Kapila Maharshi said, Jnanan Muktihi, how you liberated from this karma siddhanta is through jnana. What type of jnana? Not jnana about engineering, not jnana about your literature or whatsoever. Jnana about your karma, jnana about karma siddhanta liberates you. Jnana about self liberates you. That is the meaning of the statement Jnanan Muktihi. Liberation in the sense, we know, liberation in the sense, liberation from the miseries, from the tapatraya. So that is all for today. Is there any questions?
That was really very nice topic, nicely dealt and well explained. So there is no scope for any kind of doubts in what you are told. So we are happy that you shared about the karma, like how it is formed and everything. So it was a wonderful session by you. Thank you very much, Master. So I request now Kodeshwar.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. And
Yes,
yes, Kodeshwar, please go ahead.
yeah, very good session, very good knowledge sharing session, Kondareddy.